So we are on day 4 of the evidence-based boot camp, and this is our round 2 of this. So every few months we'll be doing this just with new research or things that we know. We have new people who are using oils or new people who join the group who are super brand new to essential oils and just not sure. Are all oils the same? Because there's so much, like people are gravitating towards them, and they're in so many different products and so many different companies offering them. And for the most part, about 80+% are just trash. So I just want to tell you that and to introduce myself because I haven't been on with Elise on any of these. I'm Stacy Paulson, and I was introduced to essential oils by Elise. I was hanging out with her and her family, flying kites in a hayfield about 15 years ago, around this time in the spring, and started having my allergies. Didn't have my medication, thought I was going to have to go home. And she came up to me with an essential oil and said, "Hey, you want to try this?" I had not even heard the word essential oil before in my entire life. And like, okay, whatever. What do I do? She put a couple drops on my finger. I rubbed it across the bridge of my nose, and within minutes, my allergies were gone. And we just kind of laughed, like, how did that work? I had no idea, like the science side of it, what was going on, what they were, how they worked, but have since learned a ton about essential oils and using them with my family. We have 6 kids. I have a daughter-in-law. I have a grandbaby on the way. Hopefully more kids will be getting married, as time moves on. So we're expanding, but we have been using these for that period of time. We have seriously gone to the doctor for sick care just a handful of times. And we haven't had antibiotics. We haven't had traditional medicines that most people will use, just because we've had things on hand to use that are quality. We know they work, and we've learned how to use them. And so this boot camp is trying to help you to see the evidence behind them, which oils, why you would use certain oils for different things, and then how to use them effectively, so that you can get the results that you're looking for. So I am going to share my screen with you, and Debbie, she's like the master of everything. I think she's probably she just knows so much. So of course, pipe in if there's anything that you want to share with us. She's a marriage and family therapist. So if you have any questions about stuff like that, you should be hanging out in our Facebook groups, because she's a great resource. Okay. Sharing a screen when you have 400 million open. Let me get the right one here on that. Push present. Almost there, guys. Sorry. Present view. Okay. So share the right screen right there. Okay. So I don't know if Elise covered this, but most of the people who come to start using essential oils, often they have one of these or many of these things going on in their lives, right? So they have either physical or health challenges. Today, our focus is on nutrition, which isn't a health challenge, but because of nutrition, we will have health challenges if we're not getting the right nutrients in our bodies. Also, digestion. So you might be dealing with digestive issues of who knows what kind of sort. And then we'll cover a little bit of hormones, gut inflammation, weight, hormone weight gain, cholesterol, diabetes, kind of all coupled in here as far as some of the things that people said they were dealing with. So I think Elise may have covered this, but the top reasons why we often have health issues is because we have nutritional deficiencies. That's number one. If your bodies are not getting the nutrients that they need, then you're going to see a breakdown of your body organs, and systems, but the functioning of those as well. So your liver might be breaking down, like the cells that are being reproduced as liver cells or skin cells, eyes, brain, they get reproduced, they die off and new ones are produced. And if the building blocks that you are supplying as those are being built, they're going to be built out of junk, be built out of processed food. They're going to be lacking nutrients. And so you're going to start seeing a breakdown of your cells, and those cells make up different organs, and those organs make up different body systems, and these systems do different things. So when we're talking about digestion, there's different organs that are involved in digestion. And if you're not providing the nutrients that your body needs, over time, you'll start seeing that breakdown. So the natural approach is that we focus on like a Band-Aid approach, right? That you have indigestion. Here's this pill you can take for your indigestion. Oh, you have constipation. You can't poop anymore, right? Like, oh, here's this thing to fix that. But what we found is that most people, when they start working down here on this nutrition and digestion piece, so nutrition is getting the nutrients into your body, digestion is the actual breaking down and absorption of those nutrients. And then if we hop up here to metabolism, that's like using the things that have been digested to work, to do all the different chemical processes that need to take place. That's your metabolism, right? So those really play into each other, but it does start with first getting the nutrients into our bodies. And I want to preface this. One of the most important nutrients that we get is water. That our bodies are mostly made up of water. It's the largest, most prevalent molecule in our body. And so some of the things that happen when we are not hydrated is that you start seeing other things kind of break down. And you might not even know it has to do with hydration. Okay. So as little as 2%, if our water content, like the healthy optimal amount of water for our body, which everyone's a little bit different, because of different sizes, if our water content drops by as little as 2%, the most common symptom is fatigue. So we did talk about energy, back, and there were like different essential oils that can help support energy. But we have to come back down to the foundational piece of this is that if we are not hydrated, if our bodies have even dropped that small percent in our water content, you will experience fatigue. And it can be physical fatigue, emotional fatigue, mental fatigue. If there's a drop of 10%, this is where you start getting significant health problems. Now, how many times do you go to the doctor and you have a health problem and they're asking you, how much water do you drink? Are you actually measuring how much water you're consuming? And we're talking, when I say water, I'm talking water, not liquid as in Coke, Diet Coke, orange juice, other things, right? I'm talking about water, hydration. And that could be just plain water, filtered water, bottled water, like mineral water, right? Sparkling water. We're talking water. By digestive issues, which is one of our topics, cardiovascular problems, immune problems, muscle, skeletal problems, which we covered, like immune support. Again, water can help boost your immune system. If we talked about pain in the previous days on Bootcamp. There are essential oils that help with that, the pain and the inflammation, but water for our muscle, skeletal, our muscles, our joints, right? Like we need to have water. And if it drops below 10%, we die. So this is really important that we're getting hydration. I just wanted to mention that when we're talking about nutrition, number one is water. If there's one habit that I can get people to do that will create a domino effect on their health, it would be starting with water. Super simple, basic, always having a water bottle available. And I like the principle of what's called crowding out, is where I'm not focusing on eliminating the bad. Like, oh, I might be drinking a lot of crappy drinks, sugary drinks, carbonated drinks, whatever those drinks are that aren't good for me. I have people don't focus on that. Focus on crowding out, which means just bring in more water. If you start naturally bringing in water, some of those other things start going away. So that would be my number one recommendation. If nothing else from this you get, and I know we're talking about essential oils, and we're going to get to the essential oils, specifically like protocols that you can do, but essential oils work more effectively if you're hydrated. So there are people that I've had like, hey, yeah, try this, do this for these things with essential oils, and they're not getting the results that they're looking for. Usually it's because they're not hydrated. So then we go back and like, okay, where are you with water? Because if you up your water intake, the oils actually work better. Okay. So if you have any of these kind of issues, it might be a sign of dehydration. So thirst, fatigue, dry mouth. If your urine is dark, and I'm not talking just when you get up in the morning, oftentimes it will be more, but if your urine is dark, cravings, muscle cramps, anxiety, can be a sign of dehydration. Headaches, migraines, you got it there. And then some more serious things that you want to be looking at if you're dealing with these. So talk about digestion. If you have heartburn or constipation, colitis, you want to get that. And so the recommended amount is half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, then 75 ounces of water per day would be more of the optimal range for you. Okay. Debbie, I hope your water is the highway of your bodies that distributes nutrients. Exactly. And it can't function like it should if we don't have it. Okay. So I just wanted to get that kind of out of the way before we jump into doTERRA. It does have what's called lifelong vitality supplements. I know Elise shared her experience, shared a little bit about these. These are doTERRA's #1 product, and there is a good reason for that. Among all the essential oils, one of the greatest impacts people are seeing is through the lifelong vitality. And yes, they do have essential oils in there. So this bottle of Z omegas, how you call that, how you say that, is all your essential oil or your essential omegas, but there's essential oils in there. So I think there's 7 or 8 different essential oils in there. Some of those essential oils that are in it are great for inflammation. Some of the known, like the highest known antioxidants, one of them is clove. Clove essential oils is in there. Far better than any of like your blueberries, your carrots, like think of foods that you think that are high in antioxidants. Clove oil blows them out of the water. So on a daily basis, you're getting all of your omegas, you're getting essential oils internally, you're getting your alpha CRS, which is, I just call this like all of my antioxidants. It's like cellular energy. It's like cleaning out your system. It's helping you to detox all of the crappy things that we either put in our body, we're breathing in, that we're exposed to. It just kind of helps with that. And then all of your vitamins and minerals. And I don't know about you, but I hate tracking. Like I do not want to like put in, oh, I ate this today. Okay, so now I need more of this or this or this to get my vitamins or minerals. And did you know that 95% of Americans are deficient in magnesium? Now, if you go Google what magnesium does, you'll see it's pretty important. And some of your digestive health issues might come because you have a lack of magnesium. And do you know if you're getting enough? Well, I don't know if I'm getting enough if I'm just eating food because, like I said, I'm not like a big tracker. I just feel like that takes so much of my time if I'm trying to track everything just to see, get a baseline. Am I normally getting enough nutrients in my body so that when I'm turning 50 this year, so I'll say instead of when I'm turning 50, when I'm turning 60, will my body be in the best 60-year-old shape that it can be, right? Am I giving it the foundational building blocks now? I don't want to track that. So I use Lifelong Vitality because I know that's like the check mark. I know it's formulated with everything that my body needs as far as vitamins and minerals and omegas. So my brain works right. My digestive system works right. So that's what I want to tell you, that this is the #1 product because of that. And so going back to that foundational steps, like you want to make sure you're getting the nutrients. You can try to eat your way into that. You're going to have to up your calorie intake to do it. So Lifelong Vitality is a simple way to do that. And I recommend everybody use it. Every single person, even like my kids take this because I know that I want them foundationally set. I want their bodies, their cells getting the nutrients that they need so that if something comes up, I know it's not because of a lack of nutrients. So they do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. I'm going to put a plug in that because my experience with them is I had been dealing with chronic sinus infections, chronic migraines. I was having miscarriages. I had joint pain. I was putting on weight. My mood, my hormones, I just felt like super out of balance. And the things that I was doing as I was going to doctors and getting prescriptions and try this and try that, they weren't working. They were putting a Band-Aid on it. And I just felt like I was 35 years old and kind of a mess and thinking, well, what does my future hold? If this is where I'm at 35, what am I going to look like when I'm 40, when I'm 50, when I'm 70? Am I going to be like one of my grandparents who was on like a multiple list of prescription medications and miserable for most of like the last 10 years of their life? Or is there another way? But I had tried so many different things and I went to an event. Elise had invited me to an event with Dr. Hill, and he presented on nutrition, digestion, hormone balance, like a lot of the things that I was dealing with. And his #1 recommendation was Lifelong Vitality. And it was only because I went to that event, heard what he had to say, and because they had a 30-day money-back guarantee, I'm like, oh, well, none of my doctors ever said that. None of the pharmacists ever said, okay, if this thing doesn't work for you, bring it back. I'll give you your money back. No one, but doTERRA has said that because they're so confident you will feel different. And so within about 45-ish days to about 2 months, migraine's gone, chronic sinus infection's gone. I was expecting a wonderful baby. She's our little miracle baby, Minna. And like joint pain, weight, my mood, my energy, all of those impacted within just a couple of months. Now it does take some time because your cells are getting replaced, right? Like there's cell turnover. So it's going to take some time for those building blocks to now be integrated into your new cells. And so I just can't say enough about this. It's going to help with pain, inflammation, with just foundational challenges you might be dealing with, but don't expect it like I pop a pill and like it's all gone, right? Like this will be the building block as you're moving in that direction. Okay, so we're going to move into the gut. So 70% of your immune system is in your gut. We have more neurotransmitters in our gut than we have in our brain. So this doesn't just like when we think about our gut, we kind of just think about like digestion and going to the bathroom and, just not getting upset stomach. Like mostly that's what we think of, but it's so much more than that. Our gut impacts every single aspect of our body, even our skin. So making sure that our gut is healthy is really important. Now, if we're living a lifestyle of high stress, lack of sleep, if we're eating a lot of processed foods, a lot of sugar, this is damaging to the gut. If we've been on antibiotics, that's like setting off a nuclear bomb in the rainforest in our gut. It's killing all of the bad stuff. That's what antibiotics can do, but it doesn't distinguish between good and bad. And so it does a lot of damage in our gut. And there are times when we need to take an antibiotic. Like one of our friends, one of Bethany's friends that we kind of work with, he had a bacterial infection around his heart and it was like on IV, so it had open heart surgery, like all this stuff. There were times when you need antibiotics, right? But for your common things, generally it gets overprescribed. And so, but if you have taken that, if you feel like, oh, my gut is an issue, I've been on antibiotics, or I don't eat well, or I'm high stress, or those kind of things, we need to repopulate with something that's called probiotics. It's foundational to our gut health. This kind of just tells you like gut impacts metabolic health. So you might have a gut issue, and that's why you're putting on weight. Cardiovascular health, oral health, skin health, reproductive health, hormone health, kind of mention some of those things there. And you might see these kind of challenges: weight gain, fatigue, lack of sleep, abdominal distension. And I'm seeing a lot of like women and people, like their stomach is like just sticking out, and it's not like fat, right? It's kind of solid. It's like sticking out. Head tension, brain fog, spots on the skin can be a sign of this. Mood swings. So one of the things that doTERRA has come out, and this is through research, like latest research of what our bodies need and how we can get that into our bodies. And they have what's called PB Restore. And so it has a prebiotic, which helps, is digested in the stomach, and it helps protect the probiotic that needs to get down into the gut. And most probiotics that we take, they're destroyed by the stomach acid. And so they don't even get to where they need to be. You think you're doing something good for yourself, but you're not getting it to where it needs to be. And so this also helps with all of these different things. So not just digestive health, but gut barrier integrity, your immune function, micronutrient synthesis. That's actually synthesizing nutrients that our bodies need. That is done in the gut. If it's not healthy, then we're going to have a lot of problems. So you can see all those things. I have 5 minutes left of this because I have to go get to another appointment. And I've just begun. Like, this is my passion, is nutrition, digestion. Terrazyme is another one. It helps to break down those nutrients. We usually get this through food. We can get those, and we also produce them. But as we age, we produce less and less digestive enzymes. So if you start seeing like, I'm aging and now I'm having these gut issues, you might just add in some Terrazyme, which will help break down that food. I'm not going to cover this so much, but I did want to get to this essential oil blend, which is called MetaPower. There were some that were talking about like weight gain, weight loss, that kind of thing. This blend of oil is in a system, but you can take it. It helps with fat cell maturation. So they're not growing bigger, and they can actually shrink, and helps to curb cravings and helps with your metabolic health. Some of the people using the MetaPower system have experienced like weight loss, their skin is improved, the inflammation goes down, those spots start going away, just from using that. I'm going to skip all this. Sorry, guys, I should have had these taken out. But I want to get to like the like targeted support for digestive, hormone, and metabolism, right? So these would be my recommend. You can screenshot this. At least we'll have in the ebook, like specifically for like, I have this, what science supported essential oil or essential oil blend would be helpful for that. You'll be getting that. But if nothing else, if you're like digestive realm or hormone blend or metabolic support, this would be my digestive support thing. Digestion is your go-to. And I'll cover a couple of the oils quickly on like why they're so amazing. This Clary Calm monthly blend for women. Actually, men can use it as well. And then the MetaPower metabolic blend. So I'll quickly go in there. So fennel. You can see its therapeutic qualities from this. So this is from science. This is from what they've seen that it's doing. Aids in digestion, expels excess gas, colic, relieves constipation, diarrhea, relieves cough, diuretic, expectorant. Like you could read through the list of this, take a screenshot of it. Fennel is in digestion. But here's what's interesting for hormone imbalance in men. It's also good for that. 2 to 3 drops of blue spruce, which we don't have. You're going to use fennel instead. Alternatively, fennel from the research may be used. So 3 to 4 drops, 2 to 3 times a day is what you would use topically. Peppermint, again, is in digestion. Reason being because it's great for digestive support, right? But you can see all the other things that it does, just kind of highlighted a few of these, but aids digestion, eases nausea and vomiting. So my daughter-in-law who's pregnant, like gets nauseous often, just sits and breathes peppermint oil. She's not having to take some nausea pills. She just has like a natural solution that's safe for her, safe for her baby, to help relieve some of that normally is going to come along for some people. So you can kind of read through the peppermint, grapefruit. Now, and peppermint is in the MetaPower oil, so is grapefruit in there. So grapefruit, you can see, helps reduce excess fluid retention. Sometimes the weight that we were carrying is excess fluid that we can eliminate just from something gentle like grapefruit oil in our water. Weight management, aids in detoxification. Sometimes our fat cells will encapsulate those toxins that we're exposed to protect the body from them. And so our fat cells grow and they're full of toxins. And so we're putting on weight and like, I'm exercising, I'm eating better, and I just can't lose this weight, right? It could be as simple as putting some lemon or grapefruit or tangerine in your water to have that natural, gentle detox to help. It's like popping the balloon and letting those toxins kind of run out of your body. What else we have? Clary Sage. So this one is in the Clary Calm roller blend. And so it helps to balance estrogenic hormones, relieves painful menstruation and menstrual cramps, encourages a restful night's sleep, antidepressant, reduces anxiety, stress management, promotes inspiration. Like, who doesn't need this? So this is a great oil. Just some research there. You can screenshot it if you want a copy of that. So you have the Clary Calm, like I said, has fennel in it also. For hormone balance for women, use Clary Sage or fennel or this Clary Calm blend. For hot flashes, peppermint's awesome for really cooling you down, but also using the Clary Calm blend is one. And then I also mentioned the men's hormone balance. So those were the ones I kind of covered. Those are very targeted. For those who don't have an account, or if you do have an account, what I recommend is doTERRA has a Lifelong Vitality Pack. If you have an account already, you can get the Lifelong Vitality, and you can add on different supplements. You can add on the MetaPower, you can add on the Terrazyme, you could add on the PB Restore at a discounted price. You just customize if you're doing this as a loyalty rewards order. So that's like a monthly wellness box that just comes right to your door. If you add Lifelong Vitality to that order, there will be a thing that pops up where you can choose up to 3 different supplements that are below the wholesale price. Now, if you're not a doTERRA member, then you can get a link from the person who invited you, which will give you a free doTERRA membership. Usually it's $35. So that gets waived. And then you'll get the wholesale price, which is 25% below the retail price. And you can customize your cart. So they can send you a link that has the Lifelong Vitality in there. And then if you want any of these other products, they can add those to that cart. And then if there's any oils on top of that, you're like, hey, I want this oil or that oil for targeted specific things, then you can add that on there for that order. Or you can just start right out with like an essential oil kit, which I recommend. I love this one because it gives you the top 10 essential oils. And they're in the bigger bottles. They're in the 15 milliliter bottles. I usually have them all over here. Or the Healthy Start Kit, they're exactly the same oils. They're just the smaller bottles. So they're 5 milliliters. So these are two great kits to get started with. So you have the kind of a stash of things to start with. And I do want to let you know. So if you don't have a membership with doTERRA, you don't have a doTERRA account, this month you can use, it's called the Silver Club promo code. It's like, only sometimes we have this. You want to get that promo code from someone. So ask the person who invited you to this for the promo code, because there's several different ones. You want to get the promo code that will allow you, if your order is 100 PV point value, that you will get a free lavender. And if you paid attention to the different days, there's a lot of reasons why you might want to have lavender on hand. If the order is 150 PV, you're going to get a free, well, you can choose from a diffuser, you can choose from a couple of different products, but you get a special bonus gift for that. You get to choose that, plus you get your lavender. If it's 200 PV, then you get your free bonus gift. You can choose what it is, and a citrus bliss and a lavender. You're going to want it. Now, if you have a membership, but you're thinking, gosh, I have friends or family who could totally benefit from essential oils, or maybe they've been ordering through your account. You have what's called a refer a friend link. So when you log into your account, there should be a box that comes right up and it gives you your link. It's like your affiliate link. It's like now you're an affiliate to doTERRA, kind of like there's an affiliates to Amazon. If somebody uses your link, you're going to get a little bonus perk from it. So what happens? You share your link with a friend or family, they will get a free membership. If they go straight to doterra.com and try to order, they don't get a discount. They pay retail price. Or if they want to get a membership, it's $35. But with your link, they will get a free membership. They get the wholesale price and they can use that Silver Club code. So get the code, send it to your friend with your link. Like, hey, if it's over 100, there's some freebies you get. And then you get what are called doTERRA dollars, which you get a 20% product credit into your little doTERRA bank account that now you can use to redeem for free products. You can buy your Lifelong Vitality. You can buy your different oils that you're looking at. Maybe you want to splurge on something, but that just goes into your little doTERRA bank account so that you can use in the future. So I just want you to be aware of that. This is what it looks like when you log in. This would be, you just click copy, and I just save that in a note, like on my phone. So if anybody ever wants something, they're like, hey, do you have a bottle of Deep Blue I could buy from you? Instead of saying yes, you just go ahead and send, well, you can get it for the wholesale price, the price that I pay, plus you get a free membership, and for a whole year, you can purchase whatever you want, whenever you want, okay? I think that's it. Okay, I think I covered those things. So the thing I want you to do, if you already have oils, I want you to try an oil for digestion. Now, if you don't have digestive issues, that's okay. I would try citrus in your water. Studies have shown that if you flavor your fluid, you drink more. So think about, like, it's easy to drink a lot of soda pop or a lot of, different flavored drinks that might not be so good for you. But if you put essential oils in your water, you actually will consume more water. And then if you have the habit of, like, I have a bottle and I fill it up every day. And one of the things that I teach people to do is, if you're having a hard time remembering, like, how much have I had to drink, is, let's say I'm supposed to drink 3 of these each day. You can just put 3 rubber bands on here. And every time you drink one of those, you just take it off, put it on your wrist. Now, I still have 2 more left, and it can help you with that. Or there are apps that are like Track My Water, and they'll send you a reminder to drink your water just to get in that habit. And so that would be something simple that would support your digestion, would support your hormones, would support your weight, will support your cognitive function if you're getting that water in your body. And then the essential oils, like being strategic about that, like put some citrus oils in that help detox your body, help uplift your mood, help with your energy, and you're going to drink more water. Okay, is there any questions that around this? I'm trying to see what else we have. Oh, let me just mention this. So this group will be open. Well, it'll be open, but the replays will only be available till Monday. So if you didn't watch one of the days on different targeted topics, then make sure you watch before then, because they will get taken down. But also make sure you're into our Wellness Collective group. So that's our main Facebook group. That is a great support, that if you have things that come up, questions, if you have friends or family that are interested in learning about oils, you can invite them to come to that. And every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, we have a wellness workshop through Zoom that you're welcome to tap into or invite friends or family to learn more. Like, let's really up-level our health. Let's take 100% responsibility for how we feel physically and emotionally. And let's really discover what we can do to feel our best so that we can go out and do our best, right? That our relationships are better, our impact that we make more money when we feel good. Like, who doesn't need that in this economy? Like, there's just so many benefits of having those habits in place that are foundational. And I do want to put a plug in. So starting on April 1st, we will be having a 21-day challenge. There are some who are already in it right now, but the next one opens April 1st. And for that challenge, it's helping you to get in place. There's 7 different habits that change your life. And they're super easy, and most people are not doing them, but it helps you to start getting those habits in place so that you'll have them for the rest of your life, so that 10 years from now, you're your best self instead of on the down slope of living, right? But that's a 21-day challenge. And so make sure you're in the Wellness Collective group, because we will be telling you how to get involved in that and what it entails and the impact that it can make. We'll be sharing some of the people's experiences who are doing it this challenge. So you'll see like the transformations going on. But I just wanted to invite you to that. Let me stop sharing my screen and see if there's any questions. Debbie, did you see any questions or anything? Or if there's specific...
There's no questions in the Facebook group at this point.
Okay. People had asked about mold and gut inflammation. I think there was cholesterol, all of those like very specific, like which oil specifically would you use and how you use it will be in the ebook that Elise will be sending out. So just know if it wasn't answered, but you did mention like in your intake form when you said like what were the things, or if you posted on there, hey, I'm dealing with this, or I want to know about this, all of those will be answered in the book. But if there's something that wasn't mentioned, now's the time to mention it. Whether you're watching the replay, just make sure that you post it down below so we make sure that gets in the ebook. Or if you're on live, you're welcome to ask now. Any questions for those who are on live or anything to share?
Elise did mention that the ebook is going to come out sort of in 2 versions. She wanted to get the stuff that we've covered so far out as soon as possible. So hopefully that'll be out sometime today or tomorrow. And then there were a whole bunch of questions that were asked she wanted to include, and she needed a little more time to do that. So those will be coming out sometime during the weekend.
Okay, perfect. Yes. And I know she didn't, and I didn't either, even though I put the picture in to remind me about, it's called MetaPower Recharge. So it's part of the MetaPower system now. And it goes along with hydration. So I started about 15 years ago, really implementing drinking more water. My habit growing up, this is what we did in our family, was there was always a bottle of Kool-Aid in the refrigerator. We never drank water. Like, who put, water in a cup and drank it? Like, we didn't. As soon as that thing was empty, everyone knew that it was 2 cups of sugar and 2 packets of Kool-Aid to make our gallon jug of Kool-Aid. And that's what we drank. That's what we lived on. Soda pop, orange juice, milk, like it was never just water. And so 15 years ago, because I was dealing with all of these health challenges and all the research, like when I was looking up, like, how can I change this? Because the medications, the doctors, the prescription, they weren't working for me. Like, what could I do? And it kept coming up: hydration, nutrition, supplements, just kept coming up. I'm like, okay, well, it's going to be hard to change my nutrition because I like have a certain pattern of eating. I'm going to have to learn how to do that. And we really didn't have much of Google then. Like, there's so much more out there now. So that was a little bit harder of a transition, but the water one, I'm like, well, I can get rid of the Kool-Aid. I can like eliminate one thing and I'll just start drinking more water. And that has evolved over time to where like I do not go without this. I know like most of us won't go without this anywhere. I will not go anywhere without my water bottle. And I always have water in my family. Like, can I have some of your water? I'm like, bring a water bottle. Stop drinking my water. But it will change your life. If your cells are hydrated, if you don't even use oils, right? Like just that one thing is getting more water. So I was doing that and it was working really well until it wasn't working really well. I was like, what is going on? Like I'm hydrated, I exercise, I get sleep, I'm managing my stress, I'm trying to eat good, I'm taking supplements. What's going on? You know, and yes, you're aging. What I discovered though is it's not just water, it's electrolytes. Like you have to have enough electrolytes of those certain minerals in your body so that the water is used properly. And I had started having like swelling, having some neuropathy, having like a lot of brain fog. And I was thinking, oh, this is just perimenopause, right? Like this is just like what you do when you go into transition and thinking, oh, this is totally normal. Not normal. Not normal at all. Don't accept some of the things that we are taught that are normal. Don't accept it. Like we have a choice if we accept it as a normal or not, because if we accept it as normal, then we accept that's our fate. As soon as we decide, like, I wonder if it's not normal. Like, I wonder if there are people who go through aging in a different way. I wonder if there are people who are like 70, 80 that aren't on any prescriptions. I wonder if I could feel better 10 years from now than I do right now. And you start wondering, like maybe thinking, okay, maybe that's just not fact. Maybe it's possible to something different. And so what I found was just tweaking this one thing. And this was before doTERRA came out with their MetaPower Recharge. So they are, I don't have one here. I'm waiting for my order to come because we drink so much of them. But it's just a packet of electrolytes that has a little bit of flavor in it, and you just put it in your water. And it has the proper amount of different minerals that our bodies are lacking. Most of us are deficient in magnesium, potassium, calcium. Often we have this scare over sodium, like we shouldn't drink sodium or eat sodium, don't use salt, right? But it's more the balance, like the ratio of how much sodium to how much potassium with your magnesium. And so they put it in a ratio that's healthy. And what I discovered for myself is because I kind of had this fear of salt because my dad died of a heart attack and that was what was taught back then. And I took that as fact. I never salted anything. And then I kind of lost my sense of like salt. Like I never, like, why are you salting your food? It's salty enough. But I had a doctor who said, you need this. Like, this is one of the reasons why you, like, even though you're doing all these other things, you're having an issue is because you're hydrated, but you don't have electrolytes. And as soon as I started putting, and she had given me some mineral salts to put in my water until the recharge came out, which is like a month later when the recharge came out, changed everything. Like putting those electrolytes in my water, the neuropathy's gone away. Like my hands feel normal. My brain, my thinking is so much better. Fatigue, so much better. Some of those things that you deal with, like perimenopause, menopause, those kind of things, hormone balances at any age, making sure that we're getting the electrolytes. And I always just thought that was for athletes, right? Like after a workout, recharge with your Gatorade or you need to get these electrolytes. It's not just for athletes. Aging is like being an athlete. And so think of yourself as an athlete. How do they need to recharge their body? And literally you need those electrolytes. And especially aging, as you get older, your sense of thirst starts diminishing. And so a lot of people as they age start drinking less because I just don't have that thirst, right? I'm not thirsty. I don't need it. But that sense kind of goes away as you start aging. And so a lot of people, as they get older, they're chronically dehydrated. And if you go back to the beginning of this, if you didn't catch the beginning of this, I talked about what happens when you have a 2% drop in your water content causes fatigue. But a 10% drop in your water content, which is where most people are living, you start seeing chronic issues and you don't even know the foundational cause of it is hydration or lack of hydration. But you need the minerals in there. So they do have the electrolyte packets, the recharge. And so you just put that in your water. Will give you the proper balance. That's what it looks like. Proper balance of electrolytes in your water. And you drink more water when it's flavored. So that's my spiel. That's my preaching. Like if nothing else, drink more water, but make sure that you're getting electrolytes in there. Any questions, comments before we jump off? Okay, awesome. I'm so glad what? No, Deb. Okay, no, you're all good. Okay, thank you everybody for joining. if there's replays, like I said, go watch them and watch for the email from Elise that she'll be sending that out, and make sure that you hop back into the Wellness Collective Facebook group. Love you guys. Bye.